but I'm still missing you, and I can't see the end of this. Just wanna feel your kiss against my lips, and now all this time is passing by, but I still can't seem to tell you why. It hurts me every time I see you, realize how much I need you. I hate you.
Good afternoon. We are the Erasmus Plus project students from the Ettore Majorana Lyceum from Avola, and we will interview Mr. Giacomo ATTANASIO, who we would like to thank for this interview for our Erasmus Plus project. So let's talk about this center, the Mediterranean Center Giorgio La Pira.
The Mediterranean Center Giorgio La Pira is an exchange space for intercultural dialogue. Our idea is to promote a space to facilitate the exchange with the diversities.
Who holds Giorgio La Pira, and what heritage has he left?
It's named after Giorgio La Pira. It's not easy to answer to this question in few seconds. Giorgio La Pira was born here in Pozzallo, in the southern part of Sicily. But his figure is linked with an important experience in Florence, mainly in Florence as a major in the 50s and the 60s of the last centuries. Giorgio La Pira was always engaged for an idea of a different world where the diversity can meet, where the different people can together work and live together in a peaceful context. It's very important for the Italian culture for many reasons. For the experience as a politician in Florence, for sure, but also for the period immediately after the Second World War, because Giorgio La Pira was one of the members of the Assembly for the Italian Constitution, and the first part of our Constitution, where there are the most important principles of our community in Italy. In all of this, for sure, the experience and the experience of Giorgio La Pira was very important. It's considered an holy measure for this strong spirituality that was together with the experience in the politics. It's one really rare case of a man that put together the political experience, the religious experience with the civil engagement.
What are its main aims?
The main aims of the center are, as I said before, for sure give a contribute to establish a center where we can share different experience. The center is a social center in one way. This is not a reception center. The migrants don't come here. This is not a place where they can stay, where they can live. It's a space where they can meet other people, where they can make different experience, training experience. One of our courses is addressed to the mediators. That is a very important role and figure in the mechanism of reception and inclusion for the migrants. We are going to organize different kind of activities with the aims to improve the experience, even the professional experience of the operator, of the educators, of the mediators, all the figures that work on the framework of reception for a better inclusion for a better inclusion of migrants, or forced migrants mainly, because it's important even to distinguish an economic migrant and asylum seekers and the refugees. So we are for a different idea of a society, of a community that can host all without any distinction. But it's also important to know better the needs of each group, because for the migrants there are some who come from a very, very hard country with war, with many problems, and they are forced. For other, it's a choice. Sometimes can be also a choice. A migrant can decide to move in another country, to come here in Europe, just because they want to try to have a different life, a better life. In both cases, we as a center, we think that it's important to host them in the better way we can. But for the asylum seekers, for the refugees, for sure we need to know better many things. In the methodology we can try to use for them, for the adults, and then also for the children, for the non-accompanied children. One of the aims of the center is to organize training courses, to organize activities to improve the system for the Italian operators also, not only for the migrants, but also for the migrants, because the migrants are not only people that have needs, they are also a resource, a very important resource that they can give for the integration in Italy, a very important contribute.
Who are the agencies of the center?
The activities of the center are addressed to, as I said, to the operators, to the schools also, to the teachers. People are working on reception centers. People are working in the municipalities, in the hospitals. We try to offer training opportunities to know better the situation with the migration. So who the migrants are, in which way we can host them better, which kind of needs they have, and which is the better approach for a better inclusion. In our activities, we try to offer different kind of courses to reach these goals. And from the other end, but this is very important, and I want to underline it, our courses are also addressed directly to the migrants. Because as I said before, the migrants are not only holder of needs, but are also they are also a very great resource. So for the activities we are going to organize, as you said before, as you saw before, that our classes are composed in a mixed way, with Italian professionists and with stranger professionists, because the migrants are here since the 2011-2012. They are already inside the mechanism of the integration process. So they are already an important actor, but they don't have a possibility to make an official course. So the idea of our activities and the idea of this center, the first idea and the first goal of this center was exactly this: to give the possibility to people that don't have other training possibility to have one.
How many migrants has the center helped in the last few years?
The center is very new. It was opened not few years ago, but few months ago. We opened at the end of June of 2016, and in this first period we organized courses and activities for around 100 migrants. But we are very, very young. We are proud to be to be so young, and anyway, in few months we already started to organize different activities.
What countries do they mainly come from?
In Sicily, the migrants mainly come from Africa, particularly from Western Africa. In general, in Europe, migrants come from Africa, but also from Asia. But as example, in Italy, we have migrants, we have refugees come from Ukraine. So are very, very different the places, because unfortunately there are at the moment around 150 conflicts and war all over the world. So in Sicily, particularly considering where we are here in the middle of Mediterranean Sea, the migrants come from Africa, from Western Africa, Gambia, Senegal, Ghana, but also from the eastern side, from Somalia, from Eritrea. There is also an important number of migrants, particularly minors, particularly non-accompanied children, come from Egypt.
What kind of help do the center offer to the migrants?
As I said before, the center is not a reception center, so we don't host the migrants. There are in Sicily, in Italy, different kind of places where they can live for a period before they can be integrated fully in the Italian community. The center offer training activities. The center offer a possibility to establish a common space to exchange and share different experience, and give a possibility to have more tools to be integrated in Sicily for most of them, because they live here in our isle, but also in other region in Italy if they want to go away.
What are the most common problems migrants face when they arrive in Sicily?
The basic needs are for sure to have a place where they can live, a place where they can eat, where they can respond to the basic needs. Of course, when they arrive in our coast, then they need much more. They need a different kind of context. They need a place that don't satisfy only the basic and physiological needs, but also the cultural needs, the emotional needs. So we must prepare a different kind of society, a different kind of community can give the migrants, can respond to the migrants for this maybe.
What are the problems related to human rights and democracy the center has analyzed?
The center, our center wants to be also a research center, but of course we started, as I said before, just a few months ago. In this phase, we want to focalize our attention in the basic needs. So, give the important information for the juridical issues. It's important for the migrants just to, in the first phase of their life in Italy, to have the identity card, to have the possibility to have the access to the social assistance if they need, or to the hospitals.
What are the future objectives of the center?
Our future activities are other courses for the migrants, for the mediation, for other kind of aspect in the reception mechanism. So other courses for the migrants, but not only for the migrants, also for the Italians, because for improving the situation and the life of the migrants, we need to work on the Italian people. We need to work inside our community. So we have to inform better. We have to give more tools also to the Italian citizens, because in this way we are sure we can improve in a long perspective the life of the migrants in this country.
What do you think should be done to solve the problems related to migrants?
It's not easy to answer. Maybe we can start don't considering anymore migrants as a problem. It's not a problem that we have to solve in some way, but we have to change completely our mind, our perspective, and we have to start to considering them a resource for our country, for our community.